Hello guys, welcome to Altcoin Awareness. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different, okay? Because I'm tired of listening to people saying things like, Bitcoin is going to zero, the 4-year cycle is not valid anymore, the bull run is over, altcoin season is not coming, and things like that every time we have a pullback, okay? I'm going to show you why you shouldn't worry about pullbacks like this, especially when we are in the bull market. I don't care if it's the beginning or the end, okay? You shouldn't worry about pullbacks like this. And I'll tell you why. So, today we're going to talk about Bitcoin and its connection to Plato's Allegory of the Cave, okay? So, let's get straight into it and you will understand what's the connection between Bitcoin and Plato's Allegory. Let's get it. Before we start, subscribe to the channel. I am posting trading setups of altcoins multiple times a week. I'm posting updates of these setups very often, showing you Fibonacci levels, targets, showing you how to trade these, what I am planning to do each and every time. Fibonacci levels, measured moves, all that kind of stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of that in the coming days. Okay, guys? So first, we're gonna look at Bitcoin USDT. This is the daily chart. As you see here, we have a cup and handle pattern. 60 to 65% chance of this breaking to the upside. Okay, guys? As you see here, this is the cup, this is the handle, and this white horizontal line is basically the neckline of this cup and handle pattern. Okay, guys? Now, what we expect Bitcoin to do in the coming months is we wanted to break above this key resistance level of 65,958. We want to see something like this, a breakout, maybe a retest, and a continuation move to the upside. Okay, guys? Now look at this. If I zoom out, I have a measured move all the way up here. How did I find this? I'm gonna show you. If you take the distance from the neckline all the way down to the bottom of the pattern, you will see that if we move this to the breakout level, some people like to start right here at the neckline. Some people start at the all-time high, okay? Something like that. You see that the measured move for this cup and handle pattern ranges between 118,000 and 128,000. Okay, guys? So Bitcoin in the coming months is going to break above this, maybe get a retest, and then continue to move upwards until it reaches this measured move all the way up here. Okay, guys? Next, this was a general idea of what Bitcoin is expected to do. Now, we're going to look at this. This is Bitcoin's 4-year cycle. Okay, you see here, cycle 1, cycle number 2, cycle number 3. This is the halving that happened recently on April of 2024. Now, if we look all the way back here on May of 2020, which was the previous 4-year cycle, look what happened after the halving. Boom, 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 all the way up here. Okay, guys, look at this. August 2016, after the halving, boom, we came all the way up here. So what do you think is going to happen now after this halving? Is Bitcoin going to zero? I don't know, man. If you think that Bitcoin is going to zero, then you should take all your money out of the market and go do something else, okay? But in my view, Bitcoin is going up here soon, okay? Patience is key. These moves take time to play out, okay? It's not going to happen today or tomorrow. But we're going up here, guys, okay? In the next 1-2 years, that's what Bitcoin is going to do. And I don't want to hear bullshit every time Bitcoin gets a pullback. These pullbacks are healthy for the market. And in my view, pullbacks like the recent one, look at this. If we zoom in inside this handle, look at this. This is the pullback that everyone is going crazy about. Okay, guys? It's kind of funny to me, man. Okay? I'm tired of this. We had a pullback and everyone turned bearish all of a sudden. All the average traders. In my opinion, these pullbacks are just manipulation of the market. And these pullbacks are being caused by the 1%, just because this 1%, the elite or the whales, as we like to call them in the crypto space, they want the 99 percenters, the average investors, to sell their positions in order for them, the whales, to buy, to accumulate again at lower prices, discounted prices, okay? So they cause all these pullbacks on purpose just because they want you to sell your positions so they can buy at lower prices, okay, guys? And this is where Plato's Allegory of the Cave comes, and we're gonna look why Plato's Allegory of the Cave is correlated to these pullbacks. First, we're going to watch this short video so you guys get a grasp of what Plato's Allegory of the Cave is all about. Okay? So let's watch this together.
What is reality? Knowledge? The meaning of life? Big topics you might tackle figuratively, explaining existence as a journey down a road or across an ocean, a climb, a war, a book, a thread, a game, a window of opportunity, or an all too short-lived flicker of flame. 2,400 years ago, one of history's most famous thinkers said life is like being chained up in a cave, forced to watch shadows flitting.
Look at these damages. Okay? This is the 99% of people. This is what this represents. The average investors, okay, being chained right next to each other. This is you, this is me, this is our friend or our cousin, our uncle, our parents, okay? And we're all chained inside this cave, okay, guys?
Across a stone wall. Pretty cheery, right? That's actually what Plato suggested in his Allegory of the Cave, found in Book 7 of the Republic, in which the Greek philosopher envisioned the ideal society by examining concepts like justice, truth, and beauty. In the allegory, a group of prisoners have been confined in a cavern since birth, with no knowledge of the outside world. They are chained facing a wall, unable to turn their heads, while a fire behind them gives off a faint light. Occasionally, people pass by the fire, carrying figures of animals and other objects that cast shadows on the wall. The prisoners name and classify these illusions, believing they're perceiving actual entities. Suddenly, one prisoner is freed and brought outside for the first time. The sunlight hurts his eyes, and he finds the new environment disorienting. When told that the things around him are real, while the shadows were mere reflections, he cannot believe it. The shadows appeared much clearer to him. But gradually, his eyes adjust, until he can look at reflections in the water, at objects directly, and finally, at the sun, whose light is the ultimate source of everything he has seen. The prisoner returns to the cave to share his discovery, but he is no longer used to the darkness, and has a hard time seeing the shadows on the wall. The other prisoners think the journey has made him stupid.
Look, this is me, here, trying to show you what the real situation is. And you, initially in the beginning, are going to think that I'm crazy, okay? But I want you to be that guy here, okay?
And violently resist any attempts to free them. Plato introduces this passage as an analogy of what it's like to be a philosopher trying to educate the public. Most people are not just comfortable in their ignorance, but hostile to anyone who points it out. In fact, the real-life Socrates was sentenced to death by the Athenian government for disrupting the social.
We literally killed Socrates because he tried to wake us up. Okay? The 99% is so brainwashed that when you try to wake them up, they can't accept the reality as it really is. Okay? They are so caught up in the shadows that they see in the cave that they won't believe a word of what you say. Okay?
Order, and his student Plato spends much of the Republic disparaging Athenian democracy while promoting rule by philosopher kings. With the cave parable, Plato may be arguing that the masses are too stubborn and ignorant to govern themselves. But the allegory has captured imaginations for 2,400 years because it can be read in far more ways. Importantly, the allegory is connected to the theory of forms developed in Plato's other dialogues, which holds that, like the shadows on the wall, things in the physical world are flawed reflections of ideal forms, such as roundness or beauty. In this way, the cave leads to many fundamental questions, including the origin of knowledge, the problem of representation, and the nature of reality itself. For theologians, the ideal forms exist in the mind of a creator. For philosophers of language viewing the forms as linguistic concepts, the theory illustrates the problem of grouping concrete things under abstract terms. And others still wonder whether we can really know that the things outside the cave are any more real than the shadows. As we go about our lives, can we be confident in what we think we know? Perhaps one day a glimmer of light may punch a hole in your most basic assumptions. Will you break free to struggle towards the light, even if it costs you your friends and family? Or stick with comfortable and familiar illusions? Truth or habit? Light or shadow? Hard choices, but if it's any consolation, you're not alone. There are lots of us down here.
Almost all of us are down here. Okay, guys? So, in Plato's allegory, okay, Plato's allegory of the cave, prisoners are basically chained inside this dark cave. You see here? These are the normies. This is us, most people, the 99 percenters. And we are facing a wall where shadows flicker from objects carried behind them. These shadows, illuminated by a fire and manipulated by unseen figures, look at this picture. These unseen figures are the media, the whales, the elite, okay? Cast these shadows that become the prisoners, the 99% reality. So most people, the average investors, the 99%, perceive these shadows as the true forms of existence. Okay? Now, in our interpretation, imagine this cave as the volatile world of Bitcoin trading. Okay, guys? The shadows on the cave wall represent the distorted perceptions of Bitcoin's value, shaped by market manipulation and media influence. Okay? Just as the prisoners mistake shadows for reality, many investors perceive manipulated prices and misinformation as the true value of Bitcoin. Okay? That's why everyone is going crazy every time Bitcoin pulls back. Okay? That's all manipulation. The prisoners, chained and captive, symbolize the average investors, ensnared by misinformation and manipulated market conditions. So they make decisions based on the manipulated shadows, market movements created by powerful entities like whales, the elite, the 1%. And these movements are amplified through media influence. Okay? The media, akin to the figures holding the objects behind the prisoners, presents a skewed version of Bitcoin's reality, casting shadows that do not truly reflect its value. Okay, guys? Now, above the media, a fire symbolizes the power and if influence of these entities, generating the light necessary to cast these misleading shadows of market information. Okay? This manipulation. Meanwhile, all the way up here, we have the people who manage to escape and they're waking up. These here are the truth seekers. Okay? The truth seekers are those who question the shadows and seek to understand the true dynamics of Bitcoin's market. They begin to recognize the discrepancies between perceived and actual value, striving to move beyond the distorted perceptions. Okay? Now, as the truth seekers approach the cave's entrance, this is the entrance, symbolizing their journey to grasp Bitcoin's true market dynamics, they encounter the blinding light of the sun. That's why this guy here is covering his eyes. Okay, guys? That's a crazy representation. The light of the sun, the blinding light of the sun, the real, unmanipulated market of Bitcoin. Okay? Now, here, outside of the cave, lies the broader financial reality, where investors can see Bitcoin's true value, free from the shadows and distortions. Okay? Now, recently, Bitcoin experienced a market pullback that we saw earlier. If when we zoomed in inside the handle of this cup and handle pattern, okay, a shadow cast by the media and the whales, the 1% basically, is inducing panic selling among average investors. That's why everyone sells. This manipulation creates buying opportunities for those who understand the true value of Bitcoin. Okay, guys? So if you understand the true value of Bitcoin, this pullback is just an opportunity for you. Otherwise, you just panic selling. Okay? Much like prisoners selling at manipulated lows, while the whales accumulate at discounted prices. You see this, guys? So, in Plato's Allegory of the Cave, only those who leave the cave and confront the blinding light of truth can fully grasp reality. Similarly, in the Bitcoin market, only those who see beyond manipulated shadows and understand the true value of Bitcoin can navigate the crypto market wisely. Okay, guys? So when you see pullbacks like this, I want you to view them as these guys here, okay? These guys who can fully grasp reality, the guys who can fully grasp Bitcoin's true value, okay? Don't get shaked by the manipulation that the 1%, the elite or the whales are trying to show you. Okay, guys? That's all I wanted to show you today. That's the correlation between Plato's Allegory of the Cave and Bitcoin. I hope you understand it. If you want, go on YouTube and watch more videos about Plato's Allegory of the Cave so you can fully understand what's going on, okay? And I want you to be a truth seeker, okay? Eventually, after you become a truth seeker, you will be one of these investors here who can grasp reality, who can see the real value of Bitcoin. Okay, guys? The real value of Bitcoin is this. Don't play their game. Don't worry about it. Look at this. This is the real value of Bitcoin. Okay, guys? So that's all I had for today. Please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos with trading setups, targets, Fibonacci levels. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.